Hello, this is Steve Childs, thewayoffairness.com, and this channel. I have this experience of being threatened by a hive mind, and at the foundation of their pyramid of power is an imaginary Lord, an imaginary God that I must surrender to, or they will have to end my life. And it goes back many years since this started happening. It's not particularly the Lord of the Bible, but it could be. Some of the death threats, this happens telepathically as well as in real life. So there's a correlation between what I'm experiencing telepathically and what is actually being said and done in the real world. So the people are controlled by this imaginary Lord, this hive mind itself. They're controlled by the hive mind itself. It's like a gang. It's like a cult. And you have to surrender to it, or they make things really rough on you. Death threats. They threaten you with jail. They told me that a deputy sheriff, is going to show up to end my life or to take me to jail. And since that happened, I was asked to leave from that place of residence. And the court proceedings on that case is still going on. They haven't shown up for court, their side. I've been hearing telepathically that some of them have turned in favor of my way of thinking, the way of fairness. And the last scheduled court case was the day when the package was found outside of the Scott Matheson courthouse in Salt Lake City. They evacuated the building. That's when my case was supposed to be underway. Same time. I have no idea. It was just a package left by someone. There wasn't anything. But see, this kind of indicates something going on in the minds of these people, that they was moved to evacuate the building. So my experience is there are spirit beings that interact with humanity, and they want to keep us under control. And those that are under control are rewarded, and those that are fighting against them are punished. I'm one of the people that gets punished. So in real life, in ordinary, not telepathic, people approach me in a public place, and their team, nobody fights against their team of the imaginary Lord. And they tell me that they're going to take me away to jail. And I didn't hear. I would really like to have a recording of what's being said, because our humanness is prone to mistakes. And sometimes what I hear said is an overlap of telepathic communication that is not what was actually said. So we really needed a recording to sort this out. And I'm sure there are many times where the public has been recorded, and so this stuff is visible and provable. It wasn't too long after I had these death threats or threats of harm being done to me by a deputy sheriff that I heard about the cults in LA that are corrupt deputy sheriffs that you have to either kill someone or falsify some records or something along those lines to be able to join the cults of these LA deputy sheriffs. So over time, actual evidence is being revealed to verify what I'm talking about on this video and on my other videos. So telepathically, after the death threat that I received this morning, because I won't surrender to the Lord, I'm hearing that the police don't want that to happen to me. They don't want death threats because I won't surrender to the power structure of the planet. So the police are on my side at this point, with fairness being important for everyone. And it's not fair that we have to surrender to a Lord that we do not believe even exists. And their group that has surrendered to them are violent. The history of Christianity is one of violence being done to many people. And that's not the only religion where that's the case. It just happens to be the majority religion in the USA. So the strategy is to get the people to gang up against the individual. Everybody join together against the individual so that the individual surrenders to the group. Another thing they use as a tactic, other than threats of harm, is promise of reward. Like, don't you want that girl in your life that you was interested in a long time ago? Don't you know that I'm the Lord and I can make that happen for you? That's the paraphrase of what I see being promised without any words spoken or very few words. So this is difficult to prove that this is actually happening on the planet. And it's happening to more than just me. It's happening to everyone. I see a lot of hope right now because I came across IFS, Internal Family Systems Psychology and Therapy, Richard Dick Schwartz. And he claims that all of us are multi-personality. But the people that are diagnosed with it have extreme problems going on. And they might not even remember, they might completely dissociate from one of the personalities when it becomes dominant. In my experience, an example is like with alcoholism, sometimes I would be in a bad mood or a dangerous mood, I might say. So it's like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde kind of thing. And I'm wondering at this point, after listening to Richard Schwartz and Robert Falconer, who claims that people are actually possessed, spirit possession, by these spirits that are not actually us. They're these other mental entities, spirit entities. And the idea in IFS is there's no bad parts. These different parts of us are these beings that are possessing. They're not bad. We want to have them a safe place for them to exist. And they just need to stop doing us wrong. They need to stop controlling the self. The self is like who we are with all of this stuff aside. It connects to like Hindu religion, Carl Jung, capitalist self. Um, it's like an indestructible God self, or in if you're atheist, I see it as non-local self, the entity that's the whole universe. Because if consciousness is here, it's everywhere because of non-locality. So that explains the non-local self, the cosmic self, the God self. It isn't created, it's not born, it doesn't die. It's not, you can't harm it. It's interested in what's going on. And it's if you connect to the power that's available from other minds in the universe that are here to help us, we can't see them all. Some of them are spirit in nature. We can change the world. We can make this world transform from a world of human unfairness to a world of human fairness. And like I said, telepathically, I'm receiving the message that the police can see what I just explained. So, some of them that are highly indoctrinated by the religion will have difficulty, whereas the more secular members in the law enforcement will not have difficulty in wanting a world of human fairness, because fairness is justice, and that's what law and order is. It's supposed to be about justice for all. That's what we're going to make it be by a grassroots movement that everyone agrees with. We'll get the writers of the laws to make sure that all the laws that they write are fair laws to everyone, and they're not favoring some faction of wealthy people or powerful people. We all count the same. We're all created equal, it says. And that's what I think it means. We count the same. I know there's people that relate with what I'm talking about, and they would like to get help, but they don't dare. They're getting threatened so much they don't dare call me on the phone. They're told if they associate with me, they'll be big trouble. They're told don't listen to me. I observed this in Alcoholics Anonymous. I've recently stopped going to any group activity because all of the groups are taken over by this hive mind of control. And it's best for me just to walk away before something happens, before I'm attacked. And I have a history of responding, and that makes it much worse. If I start having anger about being done wrong, that's when this side of me, this part of me that I have described as Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Mr. Hyde, demanding, angry. I can be scary with my anger. I have so much anger. So I've studied this my whole life, and I've heard from all kinds of different sources that don't use the anger. And the secret is to not be harmed by what's going on. See, if they're not harming me, they're not taking anything away, I have nothing to get angry about. And if I understand, like Robert Falconer is explaining, these spirit entities that are threatening and scary, if we don't have fear of them, they don't have any power. So recently it's been a battle between what I call the devil. I have Satanist friends. I like this modern Satanist ideas. And they coincide with the way of fairness to a high degree. So the devil is it's probably one of these spirit beings that's playing a role that it's like Carl Jung said, our shadow has some valuable parts, aspects to it that we don't want to get rid of for like defending ourselves. This kind of approaches the Machiavellian, it's better to be feared than hurt than loved. It's better to be feared than loved mentality. And I'm not afraid of them. They might think that they're going to have me afraid of them. No, I refuse to be afraid of them. And I certainly don't love them. So actually, it's better to be both feared and loved when you're dealing with evil, greedy, harmful, violent humans that have a bad name. And the spirits in their minds even have a worse name in this universe that is loving and benevolent. And it's hoping that humans have victory over this negative evil, unfairness. Because the ones that have the most power are on the side of fairness. Because people that join with being fair to other people and work towards not being unfair to anyone, we have the most power. I don't think anybody's perfect at this. I struggle every day to be helpful and not harmful, to stop judgmental, thinking negative things of people. That's the old personality that I want it to stay dormant. It's in here, and it tries to come back to life and take control of the group that's me. And I can imagine the parts of me that know what it's going on are just like, I hope he doesn't get taken over by that negativity again, you know? So most people don't fight and they surrender to this evil hive mind rather than get attacked by it. So that's just the way it is. So they are hoping also that I have victory over evil. They don't dare fight it themselves, and that's okay. I'm not judging people for not being able to fight it. I don't know what their experience is like. I don't know what extra help I have from the stars that enable me to be one of the people that are able to speak against it and share about the death threats and the sabotage of our lives. We're the scapegoats. When there's problems on the job because of some gang leader being unfair to a scapegoat, it's going to detract from the production of the group, and they might lose control. The boss of the worksite might lose control of the masses. Other people might start rebelling too against the unfair gang. So the first thing they do is they start introducing fear, and then they single out the scapegoat, and the scapegoat is fired or not allowed to come back. That's what happens to us, time and time again. So we're in a place where we either accept that we need to stop doing each other wrong as a people. So governments don't do others wrong, other governments wrong. Religions don't do other religions wrong. And individuals don't do other individuals wrong. If we don't do this, we're headed for a future on planet Earth that is absolutely terrifying. On the other hand, we'll have paradise on Earth if the world of fairness happens with the World Fairness Agreement. 5 pages. It's on the website, thewayoffairness.com. Have a great day. I'm having a really great day.